After that, we go back to the scene from 4 years ago at the Royal Magical Academy, where it's the day of the graduation ceremony. Everyone has already received their degrees except for Ale and his team, because they are currently inside the dungeon, trying to break their previous record. However, no one believes that they can actually surpass the existing dungeon record. Until now, no one has gone beyond level 37 in the dungeon. But when Ale and his team finally return, they shock everyone by announcing that they reached level 68 in the dungeon. The entire academy is stunned by this revelation. Soon after, the graduation results are announced. 4th place goes to Nesta, 3rd to Creasy, 2nd to Yora, and 1st place to none other than Ale himself. Everyone is once again surprised to see Ale at the top. Right after that, Ale starts joking around with his teacher, and in return, she punches him playfully. Everyone laughs and celebrates happily as all of them share a common dream, to become adventurers. But then Ale stops them and tells them about his dream. He says, "Listen, I have a dream. I want to become a court magician for my father, no matter what." Everyone is shocked to hear this, because they had already decided to become adventurers. Even Ale himself remembers what Ellis had once told him. Still, knowing that the salary of a court magician is extremely good, Ale decides that he will pursue that path. Yora then tells him, "Ale, this is your dream, and you must fulfill it. But if you ever need our help, don't hesitate to come to us." Ale smiles, feeling happy and supported by his friends. Then the story returns to the present. Yora and Ale are now partying together. Yora starts pouring Ale some alcohol because he has finally returned to the Adventurers Guild. She's incredibly happy to see him again and to witness how strong he has become. However, after just one bottle, Yora passes out completely drunk. Ale sits quietly, thinking about how far he's come and what he has become. Suddenly, a strange man appears behind him and starts acting rudely toward Ale. Ale ignores him, which makes the man furious. "Hey, you're ignoring me?" the man shouts angrily. He picks up a bottle and tries to hit Ale on the head, but Ale uses his shield magic just in time to block the attack. He finally looks at the man, acknowledging his presence. The man smirks and says, "So, you finally decided to notice me." Ale still doesn't understand who this man is or what he wants. Then the man takes something from his pocket, a special pass, and hands it to Ale, saying, "Kid, I want you to fight me." Ale is confused, still not knowing who he's dealing with. At that moment, Yora wakes up from her drunken sleep and mumbles, "Guildmaster, what are you doing here?" Ale is shocked to hear that. "What? You're the Guildmaster?" The man smiles and replies, "Yes, I am the Guildmaster." Ale follows the Guildmaster to the training grounds, where they prepare to battle. The Guildmaster warns him, "Listen, kid, this fight has only one rule. If I'm impressed by your magical power, I'll give you this pass." He stretches and warms up, preparing for combat. "I suppose I should introduce myself properly. My name is Libile, and I'm an S-rank adventurer." Ale is stunned to hear that. He hasn't even reached S-rank yet, so facing someone of that level is intimidating. Still, he gets ready. Ale strikes first, using his Thunderbolt magic, but Libile counters with water magic. Ale narrowly dodges the attack. Then Libile uses jet magic to boost his speed to incredible levels, charging straight at Ale. Ale blocks with his shield, but is quickly overwhelmed by the Guildmaster's speed. He can hardly believe how fast a human can move. Libile lands a powerful hit that knocks Ale down, but even after taking such a blow, Ale smiles. The Guildmaster looks puzzled. "Kid, why are you smiling?" Ale replies, "I finally realized what my problem is. I've been thinking like a court magician, a supporter, when I should have been attacking. I need to be offensive to face you properly." Libile grins. "Oh, is that so? Then show me."
Al pulls out a branch from his bag and channels his magic into it, transforming it into a powerful sword crackling with electricity. Libile, intrigued, gets ready again. Al charges at him, while Libile prepares a massive water ball to counter. This time, Al fights offensively, swinging his thunder-charged sword with full force. Libile uses jet magic to propel himself forward, and the two clash mid-air. Al manages to strike Libile with his Thunderbolt sword, impressing the Guildmaster. But Libile decides to get serious. "I guess I'll have to stop holding back." He activates his artifact, transforming into a monstrous form that doubles his power level. He uses jet booster magic, his punch now strong enough to shatter the ground. Yora, watching from the side, is completely shocked. Al uses Thunderbolt magic again, but Labile easily withstands it and counters with devastating punches. Al's shield starts to crack under the sheer force. Then Labile summons Dragon Fang, a powerful attack, and Al realizes he has no choice but to go all in. He charges forward, matching Labile's speed, dodging his punches with difficulty. But Labile's next jet-powered strike shatters Al's shield completely. Yora shouts, "Al, this is your chance." Al sees an opening and quickly moves behind Labile, preparing to unleash his ultimate spell. But just as he's about to strike, his mana completely drains out and he collapses unconscious. Labile, looking at the fallen Al, is deeply impressed. "What an incredible kid," he says. Just then, another person walks in. It's Ornest. "Hey, are you guys having fun without me?" he jokes. The guildmaster is surprised to see him. Al and Ornest were childhood friends. When Ornest sees Al, he becomes emotional and happy to see his old friend again after so many years. However, Al is still unconscious. Yora and Ornest start talking, but then the guildmaster joins them and says, "That friend of yours is quite something. He has immense magical power." Ornest replies, "Do you not know? Al was the top student at the Magical Academy. A total genius." Yora is surprised and says, "Wait, you knew that?" Ornest gets angry. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" They start bickering playfully until the guild receptionist rushes in. "Guildmaster, we have a serious problem," she says urgently. The guildmaster leaves with her to deal with the issue. Meanwhile, Ornest and Yora continue their conversation. Ornest asks, "So tell me everything about Al." When Yora explains everything about what happened to Al, how he was used by the king and Prince Regulus, Ornest becomes furious. They used him? Why? How could they do something like that? Even Yora is angry now. Both of them decide that they will someday take revenge on the king and prince. Soon, Al regains consciousness. Yora tells him, "Hey, you got the pass. You're officially approved to go on a dungeon expedition with us." Al smiles happily. Then Ornest approaches and says, "Al, you can go adventuring later. First, we need to prepare for revenge." But Al shakes his head. "No, it's fine. I'm not angry with the prince anymore." "What? You're not angry? What do you mean?" "We'll hunt them down one by one." Al calmly replies, "Revenge won't help anyone. If we try to get revenge, we'll end up fighting the king himself. Instead, let's focus on becoming the world's #1 adventurers. That way they will regret ever abandoning me." Everyone agrees to that plan. They start discussing how to grow stronger. Meanwhile, elsewhere we see Crassia. She's in bad shape, heavily injured. The guildmaster comes to her and says, "Looks like the dungeon boss must be double S rank." Crassia nods weakly and says, "Gather everyone quickly." A guild meeting is held, and Crassia explains what happened inside the dungeon. On level 64, she and her team encountered terrifying monsters far stronger than expected. She barely escaped, but her teammates are still trapped there. The guild decides to form a rescue mission to bring them back. At that moment, Al is resting peacefully when Crassia visits him. Seeing her childhood friend again after so long makes her extremely happy. She tells him, "Al, are you coming to the dungeon?" Al replies, "No, only adventurer guild members are allowed inside the dungeon, and I'm just an outsider." Crassia smiles and healing magic on him. "You should rest for now. I'll see you later. And if you ever need anything, just call me." Soon after, Ornest and Yora arrive and tell Al, "You've got permission. You're coming with us into the dungeon." Al, overjoyed, agrees. After 4 long years, all of them will finally be exploring a dungeon together again.
But this time, the dungeon is far more dangerous. Its boss is double S rank. Al begins to doubt himself, wondering if he can still be useful after spending years as a court magician. He fears he might become a burden to his team. The team briefs him about the mission. Only Karazia managed to return from level 64, and many others are still trapped inside, waiting for help. 2 teams will go, one led by Al and his group, and another led by the guild master himself. Now, after 4 years, Al and his friends are finally reunited and ready to enter the dungeon once again, stronger, determined, and together.